Good evening, I'm Marcus Lush.
I'm Kim Webby.
Welcome to Newsnight. Thanks for joining us. Hey, coming up, elevating giving to an art form from chocolate novelties to condiment sets. I find the alternatives to that book token.
We join the second shopping frenzy at a new suburban mall devoted to dressing smart.
And we check out the latest space-age face-saving technology. First, though, our Kim and the news.
Ken goes down for contempt. That's the verdict tonight for prominent Māori activist Ken Mair. The leader of the Motua Gardens protest has been thrown in jail for 3 weeks for contempt of court. Fellow activists are calling the judge a racist. And tonight, local Māori have vowed to fight back. Hewitt Barnsley reports.
Ken Mair may be in jail. His supporters, though, are still on the streets and still angry. The target of that anger, Justice Minister Doug Graham.
Hey, Dougie! I hope you're saying karakia before you have a kai.
Mair's contempt charge followed his attempt to say a karakia, or prayer, before the start of a case involving another person at the Wanganui court. Tonight, the Justice Minister was saying little.
I'll get a report from the court as to how the court system worked, which is what I am involved in, and to make certain that everything that should have been done was done. But as I say, when it comes to judges' decisions, quite inappropriate for a Minister of the Crown to comment.
Mair had actually been given permission to chant the prayer, but only after the judge had left the court. Judge Tony Adine had told him it is not appropriate for a judge to be present for a karakia in these circumstances. But Mair began, insisting the judge hear it too. Judge Adine says the activist had abused the court and debased the karakia. Now the judge himself is the target of criticism.
What a racist and what a travesty of justice that we've seen here committed today.
Mair refuses to apologise for his behaviour. His supporters, though, still have plenty to say.
But so far, a protest-free visit for the Queen of England. Her 10-day tour started when she touched down on Auckland soil this morning. It's the first time the Queen's flown with the public, though with her own first-class cabin, she was hardly roughing it. Besides a thorough security check, other passengers scored royal souvenirs. No such luxury tonight for a group of Dunedin youngsters. They've been kicked out of their flat. Council officers declared the inner-city building a fire risk, giving the occupants just hours to leave. Mark Price reports.
From the outside, it's not much to look at. But to 13 young people in 4 huge flats, it's home.
I've lived here for about 5 months, I guess. I'm quite settled. I mean, the takeaway across the road's really good and video park.
Kat, his mate Matt, and their cat Emily have been told to go by tonight because the flats are considered a fire risk.
They're not out on the street. The council have got accommodation that they can use. We can arrange accommodation for them.
The council action follows closely on the heels of publicity over inner-city accommodation fires further north and concerns that some people may be sleeping in death traps. The owner of the Dunedin building says he's not arguing with the council. He says there's too much work to do to bring it up to standard for residential use. The council says if the building was to be lived in, then it needed to be registered, and it never has been. Some tenants are students in the middle of exams. Others have only just moved in.
Another glaring fire risk looms ahead. It's nearly Guy Fawkes. With it come the watch out warnings and red faces for the Foundation for the Blind. In a complete oversight, their envelopes have been sent out with a fireworks ad. Laurelie Mason reports.
Last year in Auckland alone, 4 people suffered serious and permanent eye damage as a result of fireworks accidents. Fears of a repeat this year have led the Society for the Prevention of Blindness to issue warnings, reminding people that one moment of carelessness can bring a lifetime of blindness. It's with some embarrassment, therefore, that the Foundation for the Blind is having to explain away this. Their main appeal envelope being delivered in people's mailboxes attached to this, a mailer from their chief sponsor, the warehouse selling fireworks.
It was just one of those things that happened. We did ask what the brochure would contain, and it was just an ordinary run, and none of us thought of fireworks until it had happened.
Jeff Gibbs says the warehouse sponsorship has saved the foundation around $37,000 in postage, invaluable at a time when its annual operating costs are $11 million in the red. The foundation says it's just as concerned about safety at Guy Fawkes and hopes people will take a light-hearted approach to the mailer mix-up.
But a bright and fiery future for a cracker brainchild in England. Just 3 years old, and already she belongs to a select club for the super smart. And that's not all she does.
Hello, it's me, Chantel.
Being Britain's brightest tabloid editor may be no great rap, but Chantel Coleman has done it, barely past toilet training.
Not much going on today.
At just 3 years old, she is the youngest member of Mensa. So bright, Britain's top-selling tabloid decided she should edit tomorrow's edition. She can count backwards from 1,000, read 6 books a week meant for 8-year-olds, her parents only realising her gift when at 2 she started reading the date from the newspaper. Her parents cite a fluke of genetics, but Chantel seems almost indignant at the fuss.
Do you read the newspaper then, Chantel?
Of course I do.
The average IQ is 100. To join Mensa requires 130. Chantel comes in at 152, 4 more than Einstein. This editor couldn't wait to see her day's work. The first edition was past her bedtime.
That's the news, Marcus.
Goodness gracious me, eh? What's the world all about? Young kid like that. Anyway, coming up. It's late, isn't it? Didn't make much sense what I just said, did it?
It is late.
Actually, wish I hadn't said it.
It was a tabloid newspaper.
Thought I was going to say something clever, came across sounding quite dumb and quite poorly thought out, really?
It was a tabloid newspaper. That's why they had a 3-year-old running it.
Oh, no, I think it's a brilliant gesture. I think it's a brilliant idea, but I just wish that I could have said something a bit clever at the end of it, something that giving a bit of clarity or insight into myself or something.
Never mind. Can't be clever every night.
It just sounded like garbage. Coming up the suburban, thanks for the faxes, coming up the suburban stampede for the frock bargains of the year and the sci-fi technology that's turning back the clock.
I like to think it's the skin as it was 10 years earlier. So therefore, 10 years earlier, the wrinkles weren't there.
Welcome back. You, of course, are with Newsnight. Thanks for staying up. Later on tonight, I'll be finding about the joy of gift-giving and have the latest on the glam life of that Texas Rose, Anna, Nicole Smith. All that and more later. In the meantime, here is our Kim.
Thanks, Marcus. It gives getting a little summer lift new meaning. It's the latest in cosmetic surgery. No scalpels being required, and it's just arrived in New Zealand. It's said to be as easy as a touch with a laser wand, just a little harsher on your wallet. We decided to check out this sci-fi face saver for ourselves. Oh, I'm not really just sitting here reading. This is research. Cosmetic surgery is in vogue, literally. It's not the old nip and tuck, though. This is state-of-the-art laser wizardry. It's an age-defying trick that's kept some youthful Hollywood stars almost ageless. But you don't have to zip over to La La Land to zap away your wrinkles. You can have years lasered off your face in Auckland.
Now, Sue has been concerned with the wrinkles in her upper lip. She's been concerned with some wrinkles on her lower lip. And also her little smile lines are probably getting a little bit deeper than she likes, especially the one on the left here. I'll just start on this wrinkle here. You can't feel that, Sue? Mm-hmm. It's painless? Hot. Is it hot? Okay, but you can manage that, okay? Now wipe it off like this. And you see the other major immediate feature is that there is no bleeding. And in a very controlled way, we can take the wrinkles out. We will do patients, perhaps of the younger age group, who will have an odd wrinkle in the upper lip, perhaps 1 or 2 in the lower lip. Their smile lines might be just getting a little bit too deep, so they're becoming creased. And under their eyes, there might be some little new lines which they don't want. This time, I'm going to start and I'm going to do a continuous run from one side to the other.
Your beautiful skin.
The other big use of this laser would be in acne scarring, because in acne scarring we may well get little pockets within our skin, might be 1 or 2 here, 4 or 5 over there, so the laser can go in on those pockets and resurface the area so we can lift out the acne scar very well indeed.
I won't touch your beautiful.
The intention is in one treatment to have flawless skin, but luckily with the method, the technology, it allows us to go back, a month later, 6 months later, and touch a wrinkle if it still is a wrinkle. And virtually in front of the doctor's eyes, the wrinkles are disappearing.
Your beautiful skin.
I like to think it's the skin as it was 10 years earlier. So therefore, 10 years earlier, the wrinkles weren't there, so you've got that skin. So all you're doing now is getting another chance in your life to look after skin. So there is Sue. Is that all right, Sue? You okay? There's always the question of, well, two main things. One, is any scarring possibility? And two, is pigment change, because these are two things in working on the face that we often have to cope with. We have not, on record, had any of those particular problems seen.
I won't touch you, I won't touch you. You're beautiful.
Hello, Sue. You've come back today for your checkup on the laser resurfacing of your lip. Just tell us, firstly, what sort of pain did you suffer afterwards? Was there pain or no pain?
No, it wasn't really painful at all. Just a little bit, felt a little bit tight. I was back at work in 8 days, so that was fine. I'm very pleased indeed, because it seems to have softened the lips, and it's very natural.
What?
There you go.
What did you think? Did you wonder why they're filming her from behind?
Yeah, I thought maybe she didn't want to show her face, but
Well,
there
she
you go.
didn't.
No. But, I mean, she just had it all wrinkle-free, so
She should be proud of it.
Yeah.
One of it smells like burning flesh.
Probably. I don't know what's wrong with a few wrinkles. They had a bit of character.
No, exactly. I imagine if I look 10 years younger. Zapping the wrinkles from your lips will cost just under $2,000. That's $2,000. I wonder why we call it $1,000.
Beats me.
They'll probably fax us, no doubt. And for an extra $400 or $500, they'll do under your eyes as well. They'll get rid of the bags.
Oh, there you go. Well, there's a new word in the bargain hunter's vocabulary, dress smart. It's more than just a clothing store, it's a seconds clothing mall. It's the first of its kind to open in New Zealand, and it's dragging in the canny consumers from far and wide to Onehunga in Auckland. So successful is this shopping sensation, there are now plans for similar outlets around the country. Kathy Campbell joined the shopping frenzy.
Onehunga's never been an obvious mecca for retail therapy, but one converted supermarket could be changing its image for good.
I'm all lost in the supermarket. I can no longer shop happily. I came in here for a special offer, guaranteed personality.
The local business association have told us on any number of occasions now they're absolutely delighted with what's happening. There's something called customers back in Onehunga, and I think it's probably raising the image or the perception of Onehunga at the same time.
5 years in the planning, Dress Smart has already lived up to its creators' dreams. In 3 weeks, nearly 100,000 people have checked out the bargains, with just as many out-of-town shoppers as locals.
We had the Tikawiti golf club turned up here one day. They're coming up for a tournament. It rained, as it never does in Auckland, of course, but on this particular day it rained, and so they said, let's go to Dress Smart, and they spent 3 hours here.
The labels are predominantly upmarket retailers looking to offload out of season or outdated stock, offering discounts of 30 to 50%.
There's a lot of retailers now realising that it's far better to be quitting, I guess is the right word, their product here, than in, say, a full-blown retail centre like, say, St Luke's, where, you know, they need to be moving the product on a very quick and regular basis. So if it's not selling quite as quickly as it should there, whack it down to the outlet centre, down to Dress Smart, and out it goes.
Okay, we've heard all the claims. Now let's give this Dress Smart place the acid test. It's a tough assignment, but someone's got to do it. Let's go shopping. Let's go shopping.
I like it. I'm happy with my purchases today.
It's excellent though, wonderful.
I just do what I'm told.
Very good. I think it's just a brilliant concept for Onehunga.
You know, it should be good once they get all the shops open, yeah.
Good.
Oh, it's wicked.
I don't know, we're just from New
New Plymouth, Tikawiti, word is spreading. The Wellington and Christchurch stores will be open in time to offload the summer leftovers.
Did you see the sign, unaccompanied children will be sold as slaves? It was quite
That was very good. But you know what will happen? They'll get complaints from the Children's Commissioner. They'll say, you know, there's been a bad precedent for saying that about children, and children are people with rights, and to sell them as slaves. And, you know, you say these things, and no one's got a sense of humour.
They have a sense of humour.
But it's funny, you find... We have relatives from down the country. When always they come to Auckland, they go to the factory shops.
Yeah.
It's not my cup of tea.
Well, people come, they love to get a bargain. That's what you come to the city for.
I wouldn't want to be caught shopping in second shops or something, would you?
There's nothing wrong with it.
You'd end up in the... Kim, if you went shopping at the second, you'd end up in the gossip columns.
Well,
Who was caught looking for a cheap bargain day? None other than Kim, the canny Kim Webby. out looking for the... It would happen, though, wouldn't it? Would
It probably would, but I don't think that's fair. But, I mean, lots of people go there. They do as well as St Luke's on a weekend, I think, or as many people
Is that right?
Yeah, it's big.
I wonder if they have food seconds. Probably not.
I hope not.
Still to come, she's back and she's outrageous as ever. Anna Nicole Smith and the joy of, the joy of giving. We've got the solutions to the internal horrors of present buying.
The first issue of the Women's Weekly was published on this day in 1911. Michelangelo's famed Sistine Chapel painting was first displayed on this day in 1512, and Unlucky in Love crooner Lyle Lovett is 38 today.
Oh, what a surprise. You're with Newsnight. Hey, when it comes to buying someone a gift, people fall into different categories. The ones who make their own personalised presents from bits of old driftwood or kauri gum, the ones who slip a petrol or book token into an envelope, and the vast majority who say, bugger it, and head for the nearest gift emporium. Whether it's a chocolate How's Your Father or a $1,500 lunchbox, there's two stores you'll find in most New Zealand cities to cover your greatest gift conundrums. For the more well-heeled Prezi, Askew offers a wide range of often useless but beautifully packaged goodies. But for more old-time up-your-jumper, sink-yard type gift solutions, head to the malls and a place called Bars and Bartenders. So, do you come here often?
Yes, regularly.
Is it better to give than to receive?
I don't think so, no.
You think it's better to receive?
No, I think it's 50-50.
Okay. But everyone that comes to the shop, you're receiving all their loot, eh? For this container of stuff you shipped in.
Exactly.
Yeah. Brian, what do you buy the person who's got everything?
Oh, something he hasn't got is about the only way I can say, really. It's a difficult one. We get people in here asking for things. It's not always that we can satisfy this demand.
Is there some particularly useless thing that seems to be quite useful for the person that has everything?
Yeah, well, behind you there now, for example, this toilet paper, those plaque things there.
What sort of toilet paper is it?
Well, it's actually a printed toilet paper. Each sheet has a different sort of verse on it. It's just a fun thing.
But people use it, do you think?
Well, they may and they may not. I've never actually been in a situation where I know for certain.
Well, what would be your most expensive item in the shop?
Should I show you?
Yeah, show me. Yeah, I'll be my guess.
I happen to have here the beautiful Zero Halliburton case from United States.
We have quite a range of moving clocks and things that we are selling currently. They run sort of between 56 up to 129, that type of thing.
What would that cost?
$1,595.
Okay, and you'd sell a few of them?
Yeah, sell a couple.
Like how many? Like 10 a year or something?
If we're lucky.
You won't find $1,500 lunch boxes at Bars and Bartenders, but you will find, shall we say, more traditional Kiwi good time presents.
People that come in and just say, what do you have in yard glasses? Whatever you've got in that type of thing, you know.
Have you done the yard when you grew up?
No.
Who would be your most famous customer you regularly get in here? The most famous person that's come in the shop? Like from all over the world.
Okay, a couple of years ago, yeah, I served a lady. I didn't know who she was actually until Cal, my partner, was sort of pointing out this. And was
as you do.
As you do when a famous person comes in the store, but I should have known better. It was actually Holly Hunter.
Really? Is that right? Really?
And I was sold her some earrings.
I felt very, very, very lucky.
I treated her as I would a normal customer, and she was very nice.
We did have a natural chemistry.
Who would be your most famous customer, Brian? Who come in that's really well known?
Oh, recently Sir Howard Morrison bought a teddy bear off us.
It's something that they won't take away from me.
Paul, do you think Pet Rocks will come back?
Well, there's a bit of an underground feeling.
Is there? Is it?
Yeah, possibly, but I don't know. Not sure.
But this would be the place that would sell them.
If it was going to happen, we'd be there first, hopefully.
This is good.
Yeah, they sell like mad.
Really?
The one we haven't got is the one that's got a mirror on the bottom.
To look up women's dresses.
Well, yeah, I wasn't going to say that.
I've never seen the episodes that caution old fart on board, over the hill party cane.
Yeah.
And it's like good for 40th birthday?
Yeah.
Not silly, is it, with the horn?
Announces you're coming.
Did you see on the news they had that mouse with an ear grafted on its back?
I missed that one.
Oh, well, of course, that would be a good gift, though. So until a skew shipping the pet rocks and mouthful mice, I'm off to bars and bartenders to find a birthday present for old Stouffer, who's been a bit down in the mouth of late. Hey, this one looks just the ticket. And Paul said he's looking for to find a good supplier of pet rocks. If you know of a good source of pet rocks, give him a call. I'm sure he'll be most interested. All right, now tonight's information off ramp. They're going to come back to me. She's been gone for too long, but now that demure Texan Rose is back, her hubby might be dead, the millions frozen by the courts, but she's still got her health and her advertising career. Yes, the face for a new unisex perfume is nut wow, is none other than goddess of white trash, Anna Nicole Smith. Look at those shoes. It's for sale through the Camelot music shop chain in the States and is aimed at the student market. Fantastic. As far as we can make out, it might smell a little like rubber or money. We haven't got it yet. Send us some. Local body elections are usually pretty boring affairs in New Zealand, with the exception of Carterton and their transsexual mayor, of course. But in crazy San Francisco, the world used to out-of-it characters running for the top civic job. Gio Biafra of the dead Kennedys came close a few years back, and this year you're not even in the race if you're not a regular in the gay parade. So when Conservative ex-policeman and current Mayor John Blackstone thought he'd spice up his campaign, he got in the shower butt naked with two breakfast DJs. They sang My Way to the radio listeners a little nervously on John's part, but he succeeded in his aim of showing he wasn't always the serious straight man. And finally, we've had hundreds of letters and telegrams about the hobby horse we've come to know as Horseboy that we found in the Knackers yard that is the inorganic rubbish collection. Well, Horseboy has become, that's me before my haircut, well, Horseboy has become a hard-working and respected member of the Newsnight staff. Well, imagine our surprise. That's Horseboy. Well, imagine to our surprise when a member of the public sent us in someone we believe, see, look at this, someone we believe to be a close relative of Horseboy, who, spookily enough, was also found in an inorganic collection in the same street exactly 1 year earlier. And you see they're both the same, they've both got the nail in the back of the neck. As you do. So, obviously made by the same old codge that's thrown them both out. Needless to say, they're getting on like a house on fire, although things did get a bit out of hand after drinks on Friday night. They were horsing around. Anyway, that's tonight's information off ramp. They're laughing in the background, hysterics. Here's Kim with tomorrow's weather.
Thanks, Mark. As well, the weather's not much good for horseplay tomorrow. Summer seems to be having a struggle getting here. The sun breaks from behind the clouds in the north, but in the meantime, the big cities soak in the showers. Auckland is the warmest place tomorrow with 18, while Wellington remains dry on 14. The south looks a tad drier, although late rain may spoil some towns. Nelson sneaks in with a beauty of 16, while Queenstown has the day's low, 14.
So we're in for some fall weather, are we?
Oh, that's enough Horseboy puns.
On tomorrow's show, a hunger... Oh, goodness gracious me. On tomorrow's show, a hunger-striking what's that word? Marijuana law reform-seeking, religious-leading McGillicuddy Serious Party member speaks to us straight from his release from jail.
If the court wants a pound of flesh from me, they must pick up the knife and cut it out themselves. I will not do it for them.
And I'm not offering. Good night.
Good night.